Hello and welcome to my politics hour. A long time no see. I've been doing things, but here I am. And in case you are here, say hi in chat. And I have shared a link in chat as well as it's in the description as well. You can join the stream and we can have a conversation and we can talk to each other. And that is about it. And the topic is no topic. Uh, Prefer it to be like political and policy and government issues. But of course, if you want to talk about life, I'm all for it, as always. Hello, Tigmanshu. Good to see you again. Logically, has said a left a very kind comment, and he's waiting as well. I'll just get him on. He says that he's a big fan and he's been waiting to talk to me for a long time. So let's just get him on now. Hello, logically. Hello.
Hello,
Hi. Can you
hello.
hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. I can. I can.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, are you comfortable in Hindi? I think.
या फिर हिंदी में बात करते हैं.
बस मैं आपका बहुत बड़ा फैन हूँ. आप
थैंक यू सर.
आपने एनएल चर्चा में एपिसोड 100 में सर टेक ओवर किया था. आपने इंटरवेंशन किया था उसमें.
राइट.
उसके बाद बहुत बहुत ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग आपने पूरा इसको चेंज कर दिया था. एक बार अतुल जी ने भी कहा था कि बहुत बढ़िया वैल्यूडेशन किया आपने. मतलब उसके बाद मैंने हफ्ता देखना छोड़ दिया था. पता नहीं वो बड़ा बोरिंग लगने लगा था मेरे को.
अरे बाप रे. हाई प्रेज. थैंक यू.
ना मैं काफी कमेंट्स आपने उसमें एक नया सिस्टम भी किया था. आप कमेंट्स भी लेते थे जो अच्छा कमेंट्स आता था.
हाँ हाँ.
मेरा असली नाम हेमंत एस है. तो आप हर बार मेरा कमेंट्स लेते थे उसमें.
अच्छा ओके.
शुरू के आप मेरा पढ़ के सुनाते थे. तो बस और आपका जो ये एक्सप्लेन लाइक एम 10 भी मैंने काफी अच्छा लगा. प्रखर गुप्ता
थैंक
का,
यू.
प्रदीप गुप्ता का और
थैंक यू वेरी मच.
प्रणव का और विमो का. तो ऑफ कोर्स विमो का तो है ही बेस्ट.
थैंक यू हेमंत जी.
हाँ,
आप क्या करते हो सर?
मैं वैसे सिस्टम इंटीग्रेटर था. सॉफ्ट ये
अच्छा.
कंप्यूटर असेंबल करता था. अब मेरे कोविड के बाद थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम हुई थी. कोविड के बाद से तो अभी
अच्छा.
कुछ नहीं कर रहा मैं खास. हाँ.
ओह ओके. ओके. एंड
और
इफ आई मे आस्क, कौन से सिटी में रहते हो आप? कौन से सिटी एरिया?
हर, ये हरियाणा में, हरियाणा की एक सिटी है 150
ओके.
किलोमीटर अवे फ्रॉम दिल्ली.
राइट 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 राइट. ओह वेरी नाइस. थैंक यू सो मच. मेरे लिए कोई और सवाल?
बस आपको एक सजेशन दूंगा. आपने महिमा वशिष्ठ का नाम सुना है?
महिमा वशिष्ठ, हाँ सुना तो
मैं-
है आई थिंक.
वो अभी अराउंड
सुना
6
सुना सा
घंटा
लग रहा है.
का एपिसोड नंबर 293 द सीन एंड अनसीन पे आई थी वो.
ओके.
तो आपको कभी ऐसा करना ना, व्हाट इज फेमिनिज्म या कुछ भी विमेन से रिलेटेड कुछ भी टॉपिक करना हो ना,
हम्म.
तो आप उनको एक बार सुनिएगा. काफी उन्होंने, अमित वर्मा ने प्रेज किया उनको. और आपको पसंद आएगी वो उनका सिस्टम. आपको अच्छा लगेगा क्योंकि
दैट्स गुड.
आपकी टाइप की ही थिंकिंग है. हाँ, महिमा वही
ओह
कोई भी विमेन,
इंटरेस्टिंग.
व्हाट इज फेमिनिज्म करना हो, बहुत आपको
इंटरेस्टिंग.
जिस टाइप का आपका हाँ, आपका नुआ जिस टाइप का आपका टेम्परामेंट रहता है ना,
हाँ.
सेम वही है.
ओह
और
इंटरेस्टिंग.
एक
मैं
विमो की.
मैं देखूंगा. आई मीन आई दैट्स अ ग्रेट सजेशन. मतलब मुझे करना ही था, वैसे लिस्ट में तो था मेरे टॉपिक्स में. बट दिस
जी
इज अ गुड गेस्ट. आई थिंक आई कैन डू दैट. आई विल गेट इन टच डेफिनेटली.
बिल्कुल.
थैंक यू सो
अब
मच.
मैं आपको, मतलब इफ आई मे से सो, शी इज द फीमेल वर्जन ऑफ यू.
Oh wow,
जस्ट.
okay.
हाँ.
That's
हाँ.
interesting. That would be an interesting
हाँ.
episode then.
अब आप, आई आई एम प्रीटी श्योर इफ यू टेक हर, मतलब बहुत मजा आएगा.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
और
मैं लिस्ट में नाम डाल दूंगा एंड आई विल डेफिनेटली डू
हाँ,
दिस.
और एक लास्ट 5 सेकेंड्स. एक विमो की
या.
फ्रेंड है, उनका यूट्यूब चैनल है नेबरहुड टीचर.
हाँ
वो
आई
एक
नो आई नो.
लिंग्विस्ट है.
आई नो
वो अभी
लाइक मेड्यूसा ना.
हाँ, मेडुसा. हाँ, वो
अ,
अभी. मैं तो आपको सजेशन, उनको भी आप कोई किसी भी टॉपिक में लेना चाहो उन अभी वो उनमें भी
हाँ,
टिप्पणी में भी आए थे भी। मेगा एपिसोड हुआ
आई
टिप्पणी
नो,
का एक।
मैंने देखा अतुल के साथ टिप्पणी किया था उन्होंने,
हाँ
एंड
हाँ
आई एक्चुअली कीप
हाँ वो भी।
टॉकिंग टू हर, आई रियली लाइक हर वीडियोस। वो दुख दर्शन नहीं, दुख दर्शन
हाँ तो
करती
हाँ
है वो।
बस बस बस।
हाँ,
हाँ दूरदर्शन
वही।
वही करते हैं। अब उनका एक और एनटीपीसी हेल्पलाइन भी आया, एनटीपीसी हेल्पलाइन, वो भी काफी इंटरेस्टिंग है।
हाँ हाँ, देखा है मैंने, वो देखे वीडियोस मैंने। और
हाँ
डीएम पे भी बात होती है कभी कभी, बट हमको कुछ करना था साथ में, बट मेरे
हाँ
ना अभी रिसोर्सेस कुछ है नहीं तो करना मतलब थोड़ा सा स्ट्रीम ही कर सकते हैं बेसिकली बट मैं कोशिश
ना
करूंगा
उनके
उसके साथ
साथ।
भी कुछ करने का।
हाँ इंटरेस्ट। हाँ, कोई और है लाइन पे, कोई बात करने के लिए वेट कर रहा है
अ, अभी तो
आपसे?
नहीं है, बोलिए बोलिए आप।
वेरी गुड, नहीं है तो बस बस आपके मतलब ये जो फैन मूवमेंट होता है ना, वैसा लग रहा है थोड़ा सा। मैं स्टेमर भी मतलब काप भी रहा हूँ।
मैं
ये
लोगों को बता दूं,
हम।
इफ एनीबॉडी वांट्स टू जॉइन द स्ट्रीम, आई हैव पिन्ड कमेंट देयर वहां पे चैट पे, और इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस प्लीज चैट पे पूछ लीजिए, और हेमंत जी और मैं दोनों आंसर करेंगे अब तो। तो कैसे लग रहा है आपको 2024 की हालत?
मेरे को
हाँ,
बिल्कुल 100% श्योर है, कोई चक्कर ही नहीं है 350 सीट।
अच्छा, 350 सीट।
हाँ मतलब मगर और मेरी मैं भी आपकी तरह एक बार एनएल वर्सेस एनएल में अभिनंदन
हम्म
ने आपको आपटाड़ कहा था। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि आप आपका
नहीं
भी
नहीं,
मेरी तरह
पता
मैं
है
भी।
हेमंत जी, एक बात पता है, मैं ना पहले बहुत ये होता था, यंग था और उसकी वजह से बहुत ज्यादा मतलब इन्वॉल्व भी था पॉलिटिक्स में। मैं मैंने
जी
पार्लियामेंट में काम भी किया है ना, तो पॉलिटिकली क्या हो रहा है उसमें बहुत मेरा ज्यादा इन्वॉल्वमेंट और ये था, और इमोशंस बहुत इन्वेस्ट होते थे इसमें। बट अभी जो कुछ
हाँ हाँ
पिछले सालों में ना, कोविड के बाद और अभी थोड़ा सा वो इमोशंस ना उसमें से निकल गए, तो बहुत कुछ लॉजिकली देखने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ आजकल। तो अभी आपने
हाँ
बोला
वो
350 सीट, तो पहले वाला मेघनाथ शायद अरे 350 सीट कैसे बोल दिया, बट अभी मेरे को लग रहा है हाँ ठीक है
हाँ मेरे
देखेंगे
अरे मैं बड़ा बड़ा दुख के साथ बोलना पड़ा है मेरे को भी। मैं कौन सा खुश हूँ, मगर जो ऑब्वियस दिख रहा है ना,
हम्म
आकाश बनर्जी बोल दिया कि हाँ भाई, अरे आएगा, आने तो दो, क्वेश्चन तो पूछो कम से कम। तो वो तो कोई
वैसे
अल्टरनेटिव तो नहीं
2024
है इसमें।
बहुत बहुत दूर है अभी 2024, वैसे हम प्रिडिक्शन तो कर नहीं सकते, कुछ भी हो सकता है बीच में
मतलब हम
अभी।
कुछ भी तो, मगर होप, हम होप किस बेस पे होप करें? हवा में तो सपने देखने से फायदा नहीं है
बट
कि क्या
कोई भी
कौन
कहीं
क्या
से
कर
भी
ले।
आ सकता है, you never know, right?
हाँ
Like suddenly,
ना।
some people might think that Rahul Gandhi is the future, or I mean, you don't know, like कुछ भी हो सकता है, that's what I'm trying
हाँ
to
हाँ
say.
वो तो वो बोलते हैं ना वो अर्नब गोस्वामी, इफ मोदी देन हु। तो कुणाल कामरा बोलता है हुएवर, एनीबॉडी एक्सेप्ट मोदी।
Anybody, if not Modi, then
हाँ
who? ये मुझे लगता है
हाँ
ये एक सवाल ही गलत है वैसे, इफ
हाँ
नॉट
बिल्कुल।
मोदी देन हु, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ पे ना अभी वो थोड़ा सा प्रेसिडेंशियल फॉर्म ऑफ इलेक्शन ही हो गया है। एक्चुअली हमारे
जी
डेमोक्रेसी में डायरेक्टली हम प्राइम मिनिस्टर को कभी इलेक्ट नहीं करते हैं ना, हम पार्टी को इलेक्ट करते हैं, फिर पार्टी है जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर को इलेक्ट करेगा, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा। बट हमारे यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा अभी चेंज हो रहा है, आई गेस दैट्स द वे द वर्ल्ड इज ऑल्सो गोइंग, लाइक वन मैन वन वन पार्टी वन लीडर, and they will take all the decisions, sort of a situation everywhere.
जी
पोलराइजिंग हो गया बहुत कुछ।
जी। और कोशिश तो काफी करी है राहुल गांधी ने, थोड़ा
हम्म
चेंज तो आया, मगर फिर भी अभी लॉन्ग वे टू गो। ये तो जस्ट स्टार्ट है।
हाँ हाँ, अभी अभी जस्ट देख रहा था मैं, एक एक आपके साथ एक क्लिप देख लेते हैं। रुक जाओ, कहाँ गया? ये एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चीज देख रहा था, रुक जाओ। तो रघुराम राजन ने ज्वाइन किया था ना उनको अभी रिसेंटली इस पे,
जी
तो ये
जी।
सुनिए।
कोई आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
आवाज नहीं आ रही है? ओह!
नहीं, नहीं।
ये StreamYard का प्रॉब्लम है आई थिंक। चैट
हाँ,
आवाज
उसमें
आ
कुछ
रही है? चैट को पूछते कांट हियर द क्लिप। हाँ, वो StreamYard का प्रॉब्लम है कुछ। अरे यार! ये OBS पे ही करना
प्रॉब्लम
पड़ेगा।
नहीं है,
सॉरी
आपने कुछ
गाइस।
ना आपने कुछ ऑन ऑफ कोई कुछ सिस्टम होता है उसमें। कई बार कई यूट्यूबर को प्रॉब्लम आती है, स्ट्रीम कुछ ऑप्शन ऑफ है शायद, कुछ होता है उसमें
अच्छा,
ऑडियो का। आप
जस्ट
कोई
देख
ट्राई
रहा
कीजिए।
हूँ।
हाँ, कुछ ऑप्शन आपने
ट्राई
नहीं यूज
करूँगा।
किया कुछ।
शायद इसमें देखना पड़ेगा एक्चुअली। मेरे इसमें क्योंकि मैं यूजुअली OBS यूज़ करता हूँ, बट जब कॉल्स लेने होते हैं ना तो StreamYard ईज़ी हो जाता है फिर हमारे लिए। इसलिए कुछ दिखाने में ठीक है, बट आवाज़ नहीं आता है इसमें, तो दैट्स द प्रॉब्लम। बट ठीक है, कोई नहीं। बट
नहीं।
वो बोल क्या रहे थे कि उसमें वो बोल रहे थे, राहुल कनवल ने उनसे पूछा कि राहुल गांधी का पप्पू इमेज चेंज करने के लिए वो बहुत कोशिश कर रहे हैं। व्हाट इज योर असेसमेंट रघुराम राजन? सो रघुराम राजन सेड कि आई नो हिम फॉर 10 years एंड मुझे ऐसे कोई फीलिंग नहीं आया कि ही इज लाइक अ पप्पू और व्हाटएवर। ही लुक्स एट थिंग्स लॉजिकली एंड ही इज वेरी स्मार्ट एक्सेट्रा। तो essentially the critique that is coming in, जो इन्होंने लिखा भी है यहाँ पे, will the same Rahul Kanwal tomorrow invite someone else and ask him on what he thinks about PM Modi as फेकू और जुमलेबाज?
राइट, राइट।
yeah. um
और
no
एक
sound। चैट भी बोल रहा है कोई साउंड नहीं आ रहा है वो
हाँ, वो
क्लिप
आप
का। कोई
थोड़ा
बात नहीं।
हाँ, आपको थोड़ा नेविगेट करना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा उसको डिस्कवर करना पड़ेगा।
हाँ
बाकी जितने भी यूट्यूबर्स हैं सब स्ट्रीम यार्ड यूज कर रहे हैं, मतलब उसमें सारे ऑप्शंस
हाँ
होते हैं।
हाँ हाँ
आपको
हाँ बिल्कुल।
वीडियो क्लिप्स नाम है किसी, सारे ऑप्शंस होते हैं, आपको थोड़ा थोड़ा सा डिस्कवर करना पड़ेगा।
हाँ, हाँ, बिल्कुल, वही वही कोशिश करूँगा मैं करने की। और
और
1 सेकंड, 1-2 कमेंट भी आए हैं हमारे। अ,
जी।
जोएल जी बोल रहे हैं कि सडनली पीपल आर डिमांडिंग अ डॉक्यूमेंट्री ऑन चर्चिल इन रीसेंट वीडियोज ऑफ बीबीसी न्यूज़ यूट्यूब चैनल। ओह! आपने देखा वो हेमंत सर, वो देयर इज दिस डॉक्यूमेंट्री दैट इज डूइंग द राउंड्स। अपैरेंटली बीबीसी डिड अ शो ऑन द 2002 रायट्स अभी रिसेंटली। और
ना,
फिर
मैंने देखा
ऑब्वियसली
नहीं,
लोग
देख लूंगा
लोग
मैं।
थोड़े गुस्सा हो गए।
हाँ, हो सकते हैं।
होंगे ही। तो
होंगे।
कोई कोई आई थिंक द बेसिस ऑफ दैट रिपोर्ट इज दैट कोई कोई रिपोर्ट था गवर्नमेंट का 2002 के टाइम। उन्होंने भी एक इन्वेस्टिगेटिव कमिटी भेजी थी, ब्रिटेन गवर्नमेंट, यूके गवर्नमेंट ने, और उनका रिपोर्ट
ओके,
अभी
ओके।
डिक्लासिफाई हुआ है। और उसमें उन्होंने पूरा ब्लेम गवर्नमेंट पे डाला, मतलब स्टेट गवर्नमेंट पे और नरेंद्र मोदी पे। तो दैट्स व्हाट द डॉक्यूमेंट्री इज अबाउट एंड नाउ पीपल आर सेइंग कि अच्छा, मोदी जी के बारे में बात करते हो तो चर्चिल के बारे में क्यों नहीं बात करते? तो वो थोड़ा
क्या
सा
व्हाट अबाउट हो
व्हाट
गया?
अबाउटरी वाला
व्हाट अबाउट
सीन हो गया अभी।
हाँ। और
हेलो सिद्धार्थ, हेलो प्रणय, इफ यू वांट टू जॉइन देयर इज अ लिंक हियर। हेमंत सर के साथ अभी हम बात कर रहे हैं एंड until anybody comes, Hemant sir, you're going to be here, so don't worry.
ओके, ये आई एम सो फॉर्चुनेट, यू कांट इमेजिन हाउ मतलब प्रिविलेज आई एम फीलिंग टॉकिंग टू यू।
अरे सर ऐसे मत बोलो। आई एम वेरी छोटा मोटा। मैंने अभी खुद का भी ये शुरू करने की कोशिश की है। अच्छा हेमंत सर, एक पूछना था। आई आई नीड सम आइडियाज, ओके? सो
ओके।
ये जो यूट्यूब चैनल है ना, इस पे तो मैं लाइव स्ट्रीम करने की कोशिश कर ही रहा हूँ। थोड़ा और रेगुलर
जी।
होना चाहिए, आई नो दैट। बट अदर देन दैट आई वाज थिंकिंग ऑफ डूइंग सम वीडियोस, राइट? उसको मैं खुद ही एडिट करूंगा। तो बट होता क्या था ना कि न्यूज लॉन्ड्री में जब था और मैं जो वीडियोस करता था तो उसका ड्यूरेशन बहुत शॉर्ट रखना पड़ता था मुझे, बिकॉज एडिट करके प्रोडक्शन टीम को देके एक्सेट्रा। बट नाउ व्हाट आई एम प्लानिंग टू डू इज लॉन्ग वीडियोस, लाइक वीडियो एसेज। तो कोई ऐसा
जी।
सब्जेक्ट है डू यू थिंक विच यू यू वुड बी इंटरेस्टेड इन लुकिंग एट अ वीडियो फ्रॉम मी?
वीडियोस
Same
आप
question to
शायद
chat as well, huh? Chat, if you want to give suggestions. Go on, go on.
मेरे आप भी मेरे ख्याल से आप थोड़ा मेंटल हेल्थ पे आप थोड़ा एक बार इन्वेस्टिगेट किया था आपने, थोड़ा सा आप उस कोविड के टाइम पे आपका थोड़ा बेंट ऑफ माइंड हुआ था ना भी,
हम्म
मेंटल हेल्थ में कुछ इंटरव्यू करा जाए, कुछ स्टडी करी जाए। और
मेंटल
अगर
हेल्थ
उस
पे
टाइप से कुछ
इंटरेस्टिंग।
हाँ, क्योंकि आपका एक
मेंटल
टाइम
हेल्थ पे
आपने उस पे
एक्चुअली मैंने जब वो मेंटल हेल्थ बिल आया था तब आई थिंक मैंने कुछ आर्टिकल्स भी लिखे थे उस पे एंड बात भी किया था उस पे एक बार याद है मुझे तो उस पे दैट्स एन इंटरेस्टिंग
हाँ,
सब्जेक्ट एक्चुअली मेंटल हेल्थ
हाँ आपने
पॉलिसी
सिंगल
एक्चुअली बिकॉज हमारा इम्प्लीमेंटेशन एकदम घटिया है मेंटल हेल्थ पॉलिसी का तो उस पे बात करना बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होगा एक्चुअली
जी। और बाकी मेरे को सब्जेक्ट्स जो जो रिमूव कर रहे हैं ना, आपको तो पता ही है,
हाँ
जो एथियज्म का
हाँ
आजकल जो
हाँ
चल रहा है ना, जो
हाँ हाँ
डॉगमा का, मैं
हाँ
काफी इंटरेस्टेड हूँ उसमें। आपको जो विमो, एक गालिब कमाल है, हारिस सुल्तान है, आपको तो नहीं पता होगा शायद। एक्स
हाँ
और ये
नहीं
एक्स
मुझे
मुस्लिम्स है। और
हाँ बोलिए
एक बार जब आप विमो का किया था ना आपने, व्हाट इज एथिज्म,
हाँ 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 हाँ
तो आपने उस टाइम थोड़ा सा एक्सेप्ट किया था, चलो मैं भी आज से एथिस्ट बनने की ट्राई करता हूँ। तो मेरे, मेरे को एक चीज, आप इतने, आप बिल्कुल अवेयर है, वेल इंटेंशनल है, आपको सारा पता है, और आपको पता भी है सारा मेंटल है, फिर भी आप थोड़े से आपने एक्सेप्ट किया था 4 जनवरी को कि हाँ मैं थोड़ा सा रिलीजियस हूँ, कि मेरी
हाँ
गाड़ी ठोक दी
रिलीजियस
थी
इन द
तो मैं।
सेंस not in like an organized religion following way but कुछ faith है मेरा like you know like I just feel like it's a very functional thing for me now कि जरूरत है मुझे थोड़ी faith की और थोड़ी सी hope की you know just to like tell myself sometimes that no there is a bigger power somewhere which is sort of it will fix everything right it's like
हाँ समझ गया।
it's like defense mechanism more or less but I do accept it I'm
हाँ
very aware of it
हाँ, जबकि आपको पता है कि ये सिर्फ एक तरह का
हाँ हाँ
मेंटल आई वॉश,
बिल्कुल
या एक एक फेक
एब्सोल्युटली
फेक
पता है
सहारा है,
मुझे
फेक सपोर्ट है। हाँ
एब्सोल्युटली
मेरे को
पता है
पता है कि आपको पता है।
that's the tricky thing right you know कि मुझे पता है
हाँ
logically मुझे पता है कि there's no such thing but also internally it feels good so it's a emotion versus
हाँ
logic sort of situation वहां पे like a
हाँ,
psychological
तो
crutch सिद्धार्थ ने एकदम सही
हाँ
कहा एकदम
हाँ हाँ,
psychological crutch की तरह है एग्जैक्टली दैट
क्योंकि
अच्छा सॉरी
वीवो भी यही
हेमंत
कहता
जी
है।
एक जन और वेट कर रहे हैं तो मुझे
जी जी जी
आपसे
जी,
गुड बाय
श्योर
करना
श्योर श्योर,
पड़ेगा
थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक्स अ लॉट।
थैंक्स आते रहिए आई विल ट्राई टू डू दिस
श्योर
मोर रेगुलरली प्लीज आई विल टॉक टू यू अगेन सून
श्योर श्योर, आई विल बी द
श्योर
फर्स्ट टू जॉइन यू एवरी टाइम।
वेरी नाइस थैंक यू सर थैंक यू सो मच बाय
बाय।
हेलो प्रणय जी कैसे हैं
बस मैं ठीक हूँ सर, आप कैसे हो?
बिल्कुल ठीक सर हाउ आर यू डूइंग व्हाट इज अप
Nothing, just wrapped up my work for the day and
ओके
saw your stream live, so I thought I'll just connect and maybe chat with you for a bit. Obviously, I can't be as intellectual as Hemant was on the call. Uh,
अरे कोई भी आई एम नॉट लुकिंग फॉर इंटेलेक्चुअल्स यहाँ पे कोई इंटेलेक्चुअल नहीं है एवरीबॉडी इज जस्ट नॉर्मल बकचोदी करने
uh,
आ रहे हैं टाइप सिचुएशन है
then I'm perfect.
यस
uh,
एब्सोल्युटली डोंट वरी टेल मी व्हाट इज ऑन योर
yeah,
माइंड
yeah. No, I mean, what is on my mind? I have been following. So I'm one of those people. I think I've gone the way of Kunal Kamra. Like I used to
ओके
very strongly debate with people and try to try to show them data, try to show them reports, and try to
हम्म
convince them to come back to the not the dark side, but but the other side. But what I've
राइट
realized is people are too entrenched in their opinions. मतलब आप उनको कुछ भी
हम्म
report बता दो, कितना ही logically explain कर दो, कुछ भी
ट्रू
कुछ भी मतलब किसी भी तरह like you try to earlier I used to get in very heated discussions and I used to really fight tooth and nail to put forth my opinion and try to
हम्म
explain it to them logically, but then I realized that they are not coming from a place of logic. They
हम्म
are coming from a place of uh, emotions and insecurity, and you can never
yep
debate with someone who is जो emotionally and So now I have actually given up. Now like यार अभी इसके आगे मैं I cannot spoil my personal relations and my friendships
Yeah.
to
Like
show
खुद
them
को
the
ही
right
ज्यादा
thing,
स्ट्रेस
because
होने लगता है फिर.
now they are, yeah, like, and the funny fact is, like, I mean, if something similar happens in other countries, these guys will always take the side of, that they should take, but they will take the exact opposite side in India, which I don't understand. Like, if Hindus are treated like a minority
Hmm.
in US or in any other country, they they feel very bad. But when they are doing the same thing in India, they are perfectly all right with it, and they
It's a
will
question of
justify
where
it
you
with,
are now, and your
yeah.
position on the privilege ladder basically, कि अगर इंडिया में आप एक पोजीशन पे हो तो दूसरे कंट्री में दूसरे पोजीशन में रहोगे, बिकॉज उनका सोशल स्ट्रक्चर पूरा डिफरेंट है. तो वहां पे जो प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगे वो यहाँ पे नहीं आएंगे, और यहाँ पे जो प्रॉब्लम्स आएंगे वो वहां पे नहीं आएंगे. सो इट्स लाइक अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ अ डाइकोटमी वहां पे. I know this. Like
But थोड़ा
I have a lot of
hypocritical.
people. I have a lot of people who went to Canada recently, and I was just talking to them. They don't like it because they're like बहुत मतलब India is exciting. They're saying that, and Canada is very boring and it's too woke apparently. Like everybody takes everything very seriously and everybody censors themselves a lot. So even with friends, right, even with like a friend
Mhm,
setting etc, it's a very difficult place to
mhm.
navigate now. तो वो थोड़ा एक्सट्रीम जा रहे हैं वहां पे, लिबरल साइड में, लेफ्ट साइड में. So that's also like weird.
But Meghnad, I remember, like, see, I'm
Hmm.
35 now, right? But I
Hmm.
remember growing up, like, there are certain things you simply didn't say. मतलब आप घर पे भी ऐसी बातें नहीं करते थे, right? It
Agreed,
was
agreed.
discussing politics was bad manners, right?
अरे मेरा एक
And
थियरी है प्रणय इस पे. आई नो व्हाट यू मीन, बिकॉज
Mhm,
लाइक अभी जो डिनर टेबल कॉन्वर्जेशंस पे भी लाइक इट वोंट बी लाइक ओ हिंदूज आर सुपीरियर मुस्लिम्स. कभी कभी होता था, लाइक इवन इन द फैमिली, विद इन द फैमिली होता था, तो इट वाज कंटेन्ड देयर एंड यू कैन शाउट समवन डाउन, राइट,
mhm,
in such a setting. But what happened is that some uncle somewhere one day went on Facebook,
yep, yep,
and then
yep.
he said this out on Facebook, and then 10 other uncles came back and liked it, and then he's like, holy shit, I'm not the only person thinking this. Okay, so then they form an uncle network, right, where then keeps getting worse, right, like, अरे अभी 10 like I, what if I like raise the bar a little bit, what if I say genocide करके देखते. So then the other uncles are like, yes. So then it just became like escalated, and now we have a giant uncle network which is just doing this. And so it's not a dinner table conversation anymore, right? And the thing is, now the people who you could shout down during a dinner table conversation have become super bold, right? Because they'll pull out their
Mhm.
phone. See, 100 people agreed with my opinion. Who are you? You are just one person. And then you just have to back off a little bit. You're like, okay man, ठीक है, मतलब crowd लेके आ गए तो क्या होगा.
नहीं, it isn't even that. I think at I mean, obviously वो जो एक echo chamber WhatsApp पे बना है,
Hmm.
वो तो है ही, and there is this दो like what you're saying कि you if you have to get visibility, you have to outdo what you did yesterday. तो आप
Yeah,
अगर कल आप 10, if you're shouting at level 10 today, you have to shout at level 11, you have to keep dialing it up. uh, वो तो एक है ही, but
थोड़ा
still
सा
this
उसमें
brazenness.
एलिमेंट ऑफ इंफीरियोरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स भी है वहां पे, थोड़ा सा ऐसे 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 छिड़क के
या थोड़ा वो
इंफीरियोरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स.
इनसिक्योरिटी है, that is definitely there, like वो इनसिक्योरिटी तो है ही. तो that's why I said
Hmm.
that it is coming from a place of emotion and insecurity,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's very
absolutely.
difficult to. But the f- then the question is that where does this end? Like we have
Yeah,
seen the path Germany went down to, and but that was very dramatic and very fast, right? That
right,
happened within a span of like 10 years. यहाँ पे it's a
absolutely.
slow burn. It's a slow burn, but
There's this thing. Sorry, प्रणय, एक सेकंड इंटरप्ट करूंगा. गौरव का बर्थडे है आज. गौरव इज हियर. He's saying, it's my birthday, waiting for some friends, and this is the best way to kill my time. Happy
Oh
birthday,
my
man.
God. Happy birthday,
This is
Gaurav.
the best way to kill your time. But have fun, have a nice party.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
glad this is what you're doing. Waiting for your friends. um and
yeah.
also Samir is waiting, so I'll just ask him to wait a little bit more. But Pranay, go on, sorry.
Yeah, like that's मतलब ये तो this is a perfect slippery slope scenario, right? कि ये
Hmm.
we are on this path now. We know that like even what Hemant was saying that 2024 we know
Hmm.
what's going to happen. So where does this end?
I,
That's the
I
only
disagree
worry.
with that a little bit. We still don't know
Yeah.
what is going to happen. I mean, sure, the if you look at the scales, of course, they are in favor of BJP, logically.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
कुछ भी हो सकता है. I mean, 1 साल 3 महीने बहुत ज्यादा time होता है.
Huh, I mean I remember back in the back like when Arvind Kejriwal like he came out of nowhere, right? That
Hmm.
was like outside of politics, outside of everything, he just came out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
but I still feel that can happen at a state level, but at a national level and giving the
I mean,
sort
think
of
about it this way,
political
no, Pranay,
intent.
that
Yeah.
in 2014, right?
Hmm.
2014 May, like I think a year and a half before is when the Anna Hazare movement had really started. No, was it
Hmm.
before that?
Before that.
20 before that only.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
जो काया पलट हुआ है ना, politically काया पलट हुआ है, वो उसको थोड़ा सा I think that 1 year 1.5 year period के time पे हुआ था. Um, or maybe it was building up. I mean,
Bill.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, but it is. I mean, maybe for people in Delhi, they saw it coming, but for someone sitting
Yeah, yeah,
outside
yeah.
or very far from, I mean, for us, it seemed like okay, this guy came out of nowhere, and now they are like, there is no stopping to this.
Hmm.
But ऐसा हुआ नहीं.
The
So that
gradual
is,
decline, what you're
yeah,
talking about, towards authoritarianism,
yeah, yeah,
uh, happening all over the world, as we
yeah.
see it.
But
The
it's
Bolsonaro thing that is happening in Brazil recently, right? So you know what happened in Brazil,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the protesters went. So January 6th happened in the US. Then Steve Bannon basically had this brilliant idea, apparently, that listen, हमारी गलती उधर ये हो गई थी कि we dressed up as a moose or whatever.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
you
yeah,
do
yeah.
is you wrap yourself in the flag so that it
Flag.
looks like a patriotic thing you're doing.
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
and everybody knew that they're going to do this. It was very
This.
public, everything,
Hmm.
but nobody did anything, and they stormed the Capitol. They did the same insurrection stuff there.
Hmm.
um, eh, Policemen were taking selfies with the protesters. The most bizarre thing.
बट वो
um,
अगर इंडिया में हुआ ये तो यहाँ पे भी
hmm.
वही होगा. Nobody is going to
नहीं,
stop people from
I would
storming.
actually say, Pranay, that we do not understand how lucky we are as a country that हमारा जो power passing होता है ना, like like
हाँ,
after voting,
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
basically pass on power
Handover,
to
हाँ,
someone else.
yeah, yeah.
A handover of the power,
Transition, yeah, yeah, yeah.
transition of power एकदम peacefully होता है. एटलीस्ट हमारे यहाँ पे ऐसे कोई बवाल नहीं हुआ है अभी तक. एंड आई
अब
वुड से दैट्स अ वेरी फॉर्चुनेट थिंग, बिकॉज हमारे यहाँ पे तो हर हर 6 महीने में एक इलेक्शन होता है, एंड वेरी लाइक कट्टर इलेक्शन, लाइक वायलेंस
हम्म,
भी होता है वॉट एवर, बट आफ्टर द इलेक्शन रिजल्ट्स आर अनाउंस्ड एवरीबडी इज लाइक ओके फाइन, ठीक है, नाउ take it
that
or
is
I
the
will
one
keep it.
yeah, saving grace.
It's a very big saving grace, I would say. Like there
But
is still hope in that voting system and democracy in general. That one tiny thing that we have, the thread, so that is still
yeah,
there, hopefully.
but the
Uh,
problem is the longer BJP stays in power, what they are, of course, they're polarizing the country, and that is what fueling their victory.
hmm,
But it's also the way they're hollowing out institutions. That is not like once you weaken the laws or the regulations,
hmm.
कल को कोई पॉलिटिशियन
Agreed.
आके ये नहीं बोलने वाला कि ओके ये वीकन हो गया है, लेट मी स्ट्रेंथ, वो इट
So
डजंट फ्लो बैक,
there
राइट.
is a difference between authoritarianism and populism,
हम्म.
right? So when you have a populist leader,
हम्म.
you are basically saying that ठीक है, you have elected me to power, but at the same time I have to deliver to you, and all these institutions that you see on the side which are supposed to help me do this, they're garbage. I am going to basically just ignore them,
Mhm.
and I will do because I know what is right.
Mhm.
Sure, I mean it's a, like, authoritarianism and populism are
Mhm.
interlinked, but
Mhm.
यहाँ पे it's not like this populist leader will destroy the institutions, right?
But he'll definitely weaken. Like he's putting his
Weaken
men
तो of
there
course,
now with
weakening तो
what we
होता
are.
ही है.
ये जैसे कॉलेज ये सिस्टम के जो भी the selection of the judges uske piche to the law minister has been openly making statements that this is corrupt and we need to change this
Yeah.
and the government needs to be part of the selection committee, etc., etc.
Yeah. I mean, weaken to karte hi hai, because that's the whole point, right? Like the
Yeah,
populist leader will say that this is slowing me down. These
yeah, yeah.
institutions with their endless bureaucracy and endless, like whatever law ye karo, wo karo, I don't give a shit. I'm going to
Mm,
do what I want to do because I think this is the right thing to do. And
mm,
therefore, everything is done to weaken the institutions, including
mhm.
putting your friends and family on the board, putting people who will not
Yeah,
interrupt you on the board,
yes,
all the things.
yes,
So
yes.
that happens. Pranay, sorry, I have another person waiting.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Uh,
I'll go. And one last thing,
yeah,
big fan,
yeah.
Meghnad, right from the news
Thanks,
laundry
man.
days. Yeah, I've
Thank you, sir.
read all your stuff, watched all your videos, and now following you into IVM as well. So
Thank you, Pranay.
all
Thank
of your
you.
shoes on IVM as well. Yeah. Uh,
Nice to
okay.
meet you,
Yes.
man.
Nice to
Keep
meet you
coming.
too.
Yeah.
Yep. Always. Okay. Sure. Sure. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Samir, I'm just going to take you in a bit. I just have to read a little bit of chat. Uh, there is something. Mm. So I was talking about Canadian people. Sure, but then it is Canadian citizens who are setting up political agendas themselves for the citizenry that won't participate in political conversations. Their agendas are fixed by politicians. Nahi. That's true. I mean, of course. I mean, I don't exactly know the proper situation of Canada. I was just giving you like an anecdotal instance of what I heard recently. Again, I might be wrong. There might be different views as well. Disclaimer. But what I'm trying to say is that I mean, you're correct, Hasrat. Like if the politician is setting the agenda for the conversation versus the people are setting the agenda for the conversations, obviously the this is preferred, not the politician setting the agenda. What is this? Democracy is an obstacle in Indian development story. Amitabh Kant, did he really say that? What? Ooh, fascinating. Hi Lalit, and hello Samir. Hi, you're on.
Hi, Meghnerd. How are you?
Hi. How are you doing?
Well, this is a big surprise. Pleasure being talking to you. I'm actually your kind of friend back from one group. We had I forgot that name of the platform, the cult we had started. I think.
Ah, yes, I had started a cult. You were a part of the cult.
Yes, I was
Yes.
adamant on solving India-Pakistan dispute for once and for all. If
Ah,
you,
so we used to do those debates on the cult.
yes. I
Voice
very much
chats.
related to Pranay, the things he spoke about.
Yeah.
For example, getting into argument with people. I myself, मैं being in Vadodara, मेरे घर से
Hmm.
left में बीजेपी office, right में बजरंग दल office. All my friends were from that circle. Initially, मैं बहुत argue करता था उनसे सारी चीजों पर, but then slowly it brought me to understanding of more of their side in a way. Okay,
Hmm.
I even though I never agreed with them, but it kind of got me to understanding कि ठीक है, where are they coming from at least. वो that happened with them, but still,
Hmm.
it's a bizarre point of view at the end of the day. To some extent, yes, not kidding.
Yeah.
Also, a
Absolutely.
while ago you said that you are planning for long videos. Your
Yes.
constitution series was very inspiring, very. I got to learn a lot of things. If अगर
Thank you.
उसमें बड़े videos आते हैं where we get to know more about
I'm
constitution.
actually I'm thinking of going in that direction only, but like, see, that's the thing. Like, I was thinking, I started writing a script on what is government. just what is government, right? and
Yes.
and you know, like, because I'm this time I'm trying a video essay, so it will be very less editing, but like slowly just explaining the concept of government as it is, what it has become, what is the real job of it, all the things. I started writing it. It's just not, मजा नहीं आ रहा है, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I'm trying. थोड़ा सा अलग format होगा than what I had done before.
Same.
And plus मुझे ही edit करना है, so that is a big task. I'm learning that, so trying,
You know,
but building.
back from our days about talking about India and Pakistan, मेरा actually मैं पिछले
Yeah.
8-10 सालों से एक आइडिया पे सोचे जा रहा हूँ. I've also started
Hmm.
writing about it in to some extent, but I'm not at all in any ways any writer. The idea is basically how, and if you come to terms with how of that idea, why first it's why, and if you
Hmm.
come to terms with why, then we get to how part. मैं
Hmm.
जो आइडिया प्रेजेंट करना चाहता हूँ वो है कि why and how we
Hmm.
must and we should get rid of all the weapons from the entire world,
Hmm.
like even the people who own personally, and
Hmm.
people and the weapons which are owned state, uh, by the state as well, for example for
Okay.
everything. So I would really I wanted to discuss. I always had this in my mind कि यार हाँ कुछ गिने चुने लोग हैं मेरे दिमाग में जिनके साथ मैं कभी बैठ के डिस्कस करना चाहता था ये. मैंने वीडियोस भी बनाए इन वडोदरा. आई यूज्ड टू डू दैट. आई एम
Hmm.
बेसिकली पुणे में भी ये करता था. मॉर्निंग वॉक के लिए निकले, 5-6 लोगों का ग्रुप मिला, उनको पूछा भाई 15 मिनट है आपके पास. आई स्टार्टेड
Hmm.
डिस्कसिंग दिस. ऐसा भी हुआ है कि लोगों ने पागल बोल के 10 मिनट में छोड़ के गए. ऐसा भी हुआ है कि they've stuck with me for next 3 hours, और हम बात किए
Okay.
डिस्कस किए जा रहे
that
हैं.
that sounds intensely dangerous.
The idea of not having weapons at all.
uh, no, that the idea of you going and accosting random people and talking about this sounds dangerous, is what I'm
I
saying.
मुझे सबसे बेस्ट आइडियाज इस आइडिया को और ज्यादा इम्प्रूव करने के लिए ऐसे ही
Hmm.
रैंडम लोगों से मिले. The things that
Interesting.
I did not think someone else said, and then in my head I was like, okay, ये नोट करने वाली चीज है, इसको मैं ऐड करूंगा अपने पूरे स्टोरी के
But
अंदर की.
you're single-handedly trying to solve the India-Pakistan crisis, is it?
I have basic ideas. मेरा सबसे बेस्ट डिस्कशन पॉइंट्स होता था इन वडोदरा. मैंने सोचा था I would start making videos also about it, but that
Hmm.
never happened. The idea was any like hypothetical any idea कि इंडिया में हिंदू मुस्लिम कैसे सॉल्व करना है. तो ओके,
Hmm.
मैं अगर गवर्नमेंट में आया, if I come to prime minister, if I become the prime minister tomorrow, I will
Hmm.
immediately start a new ministry, ministry of
Hmm.
social harmony. हर
Okay, and
कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी
what will that ministry do?
हर कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में जितने रजिस्टर्ड मित्र मंडल है, फ्रॉम
Hmm.
ऑल बैकग्राउंड्स, कोई
Hmm.
there would be groups of Hindus, Muslims, Christians. They all will come together every 15 days, discuss what
Hmm.
their problems are, and वो discussion में okay, ministry will get the budget, तुम्हारा food वूड ये वो हॉल वॉल सब अरेंज करेंगे. You discuss, you sort out your issues there. It's like a public parliament basically. हर 15 दिन पे public
Interesting.
parliament आ रहा है. This was, I'm just saying, this was hypothetical. कुछ भी जैसे हम लोग बकचोदी, like you said,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
do
Yeah.
this and try to get to some conclusion. इसी में मतलब बजरंग दल के जो मेरे दोस्त थे उनके साथ सबसे ज्यादा मेरा डिस्प्यूट इसी टॉपिक पे होता था कि अरे हाउ कैन यू थिंक ऑफ डूइंग दिस, ये कैसे सोल्यूशन आएगा, ये बोला तो अच्छा तो नहीं आएगा तो तू बता सोल्यूशन क्या हो सकता है.
But उनका क्या solution है फिर?
उनका सोल्यूशन है कि ये सबको पाकिस्तान भगो, और क्या.
Of course, I mean, of course. That
Yes,
why
yes.
am I even asking? Why am I even asking? So, step beyond जाता नहीं. Sorry, just wanted to show you this. Is this what you were talking about? So this is like a golden rule of advertising, golden circles of advertising. It's called. Why, how,
Oh, okay.
what. Right.
मेरे
So
दिमाग में
read up on
बेसिक
this.
आइडिया था कि ओके अगर मैं वाई पे कन्विंस कर सकूं तो फिर हम हाउ
Hmm.
पे जा सकते हैं कि ओके इसको फिर कैसे किया जाए प्रैक्टिकली इन इन
Hmm.
एक्चुअली ऑन ग्राउंड लेवल इन द एंटायर वर्ल्ड, हाउ वी कैन डू दैट. बट या दिस लुक्स वेरी Like my mind is just right now, I'm thinking this is much more sophisticatedly putting
So
portraying.
look this up. It's actually great. It's actually theories that are followed by Apple and the best companies that have done like great ads. They follow this golden circle theory of advertising. Just look it up. You'll find a lot of material on it. I have read a lot on this, and
Okay.
I use this while writing my scripts. Or I use this while writing my uh, anything that I write essentially. Like ठीक है, what, how, है, but why are you doing this is the first thing that you have to attack.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
how, and then what is it, is what that you're coming to.
I am
So
wondering now. I've never thought about what, but now I'll start thinking कि in
yeah,
this story of mine, what could be the aspect of what? Only I
yep,
had thought of how and why.
yeah.
Interesting.
Samir, there are a few other people as well
Yes, yes,
waiting.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Meghnerd, carry on. It
Nice
was great.
talking to you, sir.
Me too. I'm a big fan of your all your work.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure talking to you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Have a good day ahead.
uh Comments, and then we have Shweta and RS waiting. We will take both of them in a bit. uh Oh, Shweta is asking something. I saw something. What happened to the reels? Oh yeah, I stopped doing the reels. I know, Shweta, the mock reels and the reels that I was doing on Instagram. I just realized that बहुत ज़्यादा effort है और return में बहुत कम है. Plus I was doing that to become an influencer. एंड देन आई वाज लाइक एक दो ब्रांड्स को अप्रोच किया एंड उन्होंने बोला कि नहीं सर आप तो बड़े टॉक्सिक हो, you have said so many things against you're not, you're very negative and politics के बारे में बात करते हो, so then can't associate. So I'm like, well, then what's the point? Why am I putting in so much effort if I'm not getting anything out of it? पैसा चाहिए था इसीलिए कर रहा था, but क्या करेंगे. C'est la vie. Now I'm realizing maybe this is not the time. But yeah, it was fun while it lasted. Maybe I'll do a few more later. Let's see. Depends. Depends on my mood. Oh, speaking of which, Shweta is here also. So maybe I'll just talk to her. Right? Shweta, hello.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you, Shweta.
So firstly, obviously, big fan, and I guess you know me from the Cyrus's universe also.
I do. I
But
do. Yes.
but the question that I had for you was that we read this a lot in school. There is
Hmm.
legislature, executive, and judiciary, and a lot of media constantly globally talks about executive. Sorry, judiciary and legislature. Barely anything is talked about executive, where I think a lot of onus is on that
Hmm.
section.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So I wanted to know your views and also well
Hmm.
read and aware people's views about executive in India.
Bureaucracy in general,
Yeah,
executive
bureaucracy in
branch.
general. Yes.
So when I was working with MPs na, so obviously
Hmm.
like कोई भी project implement करना था etc. So we
Hmm.
encountered a lot of bureaucrats. So I have hung out with like a bunch of district collectors and some such,
Hmm.
all very nice people in general, right?
Okay.
ISK एग्जाम दिया है, बहुत मेहनत लगता है, सब कुछ किया,
Hmm.
and then they get deputed, right? The
Hmm.
thing with our bureaucracy though is that mm, it is it has very less independence to do whatever they want, right? The
Hmm.
only thing they have is that they're permanent, so you can't fire any bureaucrat, right? That is written in our constitution. But that becomes a problem then. Okay, because if you are a bureaucrat who is permanent, so you want a
Hmm.
good life. So
Hmm.
let's say that you work your way up, like in the ladder, right? And 10
Yeah.
साल आपने बहुत अच्छा service किया,
Which is
and then you
also
get
only
deputed.
time. Sorry, which is also only time based.
Yeah, उसमें कोई परफॉर्मेंस मेट्रिक वगैरह नहीं है, बस टाइम का
Okay.
एक्सपीरियंस है, राइट? सो लेट्स से 10 years स्पेंड किया, and then
Hmm.
you reach like, let's say, a capital of a state, let's say
Hmm.
Mumbai, right? So then now you're
Hmm.
deputed somewhere in Mumbai, some district near Mumbai or whatever, which is a very valuable, very important district, right? Now you have a good life there because you get a house, you get everything, you have respect, like city pass में है. So now you are like, मुझे यहीं रहना है. for at
हाँ,
least a few
सरकारी
more
घर
years.
गाड़ी.
हाँ, सरकारी घर गाड़ी सब कुछ है, तनख्वाह अच्छा आ रहा है, रिस्पेक्ट आ रहा है, सब कुछ आ रहा है, सिक्योरिटी मिल रहा है, सब कुछ हो रहा है. Now what you do in that situation as a bureaucrat is that you do not mess with the powers. So whoever comes on
Oh,
top of you as a political leader, you will just say yes, because तुम्हें वहीं पे रहना है, right? And the politicians also
okay.
know this, that oh, so this person is now
Yeah.
comfortable, and this comfortable bureaucrat will listen to what I have to say, right? That is one. So there is no way to judge their performance metric per se, except for how close you are to a politician or a power that is there currently. Then second thing, which is also worth pointing out, is that there's another kind of bureaucrat, which is they early on in their bureaucratic career they pick a rising leader, and then they attach themselves to that rising leader, right? Say for example, MLA from a particular constituency, uska ek district collector hai. Now district collector sees that this guy will go far, I have to stick with this person. So then they stick with this person, right? And then they help them in every step of the way. And then this person keeps bringing them to wherever they are,
Right.
like
So they
transferring
grow
them to
together
wherever they are.
essentially.
They grow together, right? Again, यहाँ पे independence का तो कोई सवाल नहीं आता है, but now there is a mutual understanding there that if we do this together, we will be able to go far, right? थोड़ा सा इधर उधर 1-2 साल का difference हो सकता है, but फिर भी like that is also like one kind of bureaucrat, right? And you can see Narendra Modi being surrounded by such bureaucrats. Even earlier, Manmohan Singh was surrounded by such bureaucrats. It's a thing, right? So our bureaucracy na needs like massive reform. That's what I believe.
Okay, sorry,
हम
just one small follow-up. Do we actually, means I would like to believe, but in reality, do we have a category of bureaucrat that is young, wants to bring about change, but can't fight the system?
मतलब नहीं समझा, like how
Matlab,
can you rephrase?
like a bureaucrat that thinks that this is not the right way. I should stick with the rules. I should do what is right
Mm,
for my area of
I will show you.
work.
I will show you the most legendary bureaucrat out there who tried to do this. Uh, wait, his
But
name
do
is
they
Ashok
exist?
Khemka. They do, but they don't have a good life. So there is this
Yeah,
guy called Ashok Khemka. Okay. He, I think, has a record of how many times a bureaucrat can get transferred.
oh, yeah,
56
yeah, yeah.
times.
Seen this. I've
So
seen this. I've seen
every 6 months or something, he ridiculous. He
this.
keeps getting transferred. Haryana Civil Service, uh, because he doesn't listen.
Yeah,
He doesn't listen. He wants to like do good. He's the one who basically wants to fight the power and like be like a nice bureaucrat. Look at him, 56 times. Can you imagine 56
hmm.
times having to shift your house because of your job? That's just, and people actually see this as an example of what not to do more than what
Hmm.
to do,
Hmm.
and which is the tragic part of it. I have a few friends who are also bureaucrats, and I have asked one of them this question, but they're like, this is not an option for us, right? Because so now that person has a kid, wife,
Hmm.
right? They have a good
Hmm.
house वहां पे. It's like अगर मेरे 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 बच्चे को stability देना है, तो I have to stick here. So my
Hmm.
priority right now is my family, as is everybody's, right?
Yeah,
So this
yeah,
bureaucrat's priority is this family, and this family unit को maintain करने के लिए, political survival के लिए, just whatever it takes, right? And
right.
I feel like that's a reasonable sort of way to look at it. But of course, like from other perspective, you did take up this job though, which is
Yeah.
bureaucracy, which is supposed to have like a larger role there other than just
Hmm.
your family. Again, like it depends on how you look at it. I sympathize with what he's saying, but I might not exactly agree with it also.
Hmm. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It does. It does.
Shweta, I'm going to bring in RS now. If you have any last question.
No, I think you can go ahead. I'll
Yes.
save it for
Thank you.
another
I will
live.
see you on Cyrus Says ka chat again.
Yes, tomorrow. Bye.
Bye bye. Hello. Welcome. Hello, RS. How you doing?
Hi, Meghnerd. I'm good. And yeah, you can call me Saurav.
I can
It's
call you
Saurav.
Soram.
Yes. Yes.
Soram.
No, Saurav. Saurav.
Oh, Saurav. Okay, okay. Okay, go on. Saurav.
How are you doing? How's
I'm good.
how's the Delhi winter treating you?
You can see. It's not bad. I think it was colder a few days ago, but now it's not that bad. I like
Yeah,
I
it's
like this. I like this season.
yeah, just a little bit better than the past few weeks or so.
Yes. Sorry. एक second. I have to read some chat. Stay,
Sure, sure.
and you can also
Sure, sure.
respond. Uh, okay. Kunal is saying BJP is able to send message in Gujarat. If BJP will not be in power, then there will be riots. I feel the same way. BJP is able to send message in India that if BJP is not up in power, India will be a Muslim state. So this is the oldest trick in the book, my friend Kunal, that if you cannot really satisfy people by solving their disputes and fulfilling their promises, and it's becoming super difficult for you to do it, you point to like a made up enemy, and then you just release the anger towards them, so that there is this semblance of fear that is generated and inferiority complex, and therefore a political leader obviously benefits from such a situation where people don't think of anything else. महंगाई, price rise, क्या है ये? On non-issues, unemployment, because if we don't keep this party in power, then we will be destroyed. That is the ultimate thing, uh, which is kind of sad, because that also points towards a very insecure population, but also like a very scared population. It's not nice to be scared. It's not nice to not be able to talk about political issues openly or express your opinion, but that is unfortunately how it is. um, yeah, there is Mashud, who is saying, getting Sant vibes. Our next Osho is here. Yeah, motivational speaker तो बनना है life में कभी तो भी. If anybody wants motivation, if anybody has life questions, please, I am up for this today. All motivation will come out of me. Um, Millennial Mind says we don't want generalists from UPSC. Babus, we need subject matter expertise in bureaucracy, just like the USA. Agreed. And the unfortunate thing is that hamare bureaucracy mein, that never happens, because they don't stay in one place for a long time, or they keep getting transferred or like moved around according to changing political powers. So they can't even build an expertise if they want to. Unfortunately, that I agree. Asrat is saying Khemka won't have been able to do anything in his district as well. Nahi, at some point it also falls upon you to pick battles. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right, Asrat? That Khemka is used as an example of what not to do also by bureaucrats. Like, ठीक है, पंगे लो कभी कभी, but not this much, not this much. So yeah, yeah, I'm done with comments. Saurav, please go on.
I guess we'll see the other motivational side of you rather than the reels.
Yes, यहाँ पे long motivation.
Although granted, they were funny as well. Like truly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talking about funny, like not talking about the main topic though. Like people say that. In fact, today itself, I was going through an interview and they said, कि, your sense of humor is not for your good times, but it is for your bad times.
Okay.
It helps you sail through, and like if you have followed Friends the show as well, you might find that Chandler says, "Oh, I'm Chandler. I make jokes when I'm awkward," or like
Yeah, like a
like
defense
that.
mechanism essentially.
Yeah, exactly, like a defense mechanism or a coping mechanism. So,
Right.
do you find any semblance of that rationale with your personality? That is that true for your case as well? Have you ever thought about it?
I did actually, and I think you're right. This does so. I would say that change happened very long ago with me. Maybe back in when I was doing CA. So in koi zamane mein, like a decade and plus ago, I was doing CA and I sucked at it. Okay, like I'm very bad at it. Like I mean, I was failing. I was not doing anything else, and plus office jana padta tha. um, and office mein na, like CA articleship when I was doing that, um, essentially you are like this 18-year-old child in an office who has to go to like places, do audits and tick mark marna padta hai account books mein. And it's a very brainless job, but also you're not supposed to question anything. So I was literally dropped into situations where I was trying to use what I'm studying for CA into my work, and that backfired. Like अकाउंटिंग प्रैक्टिसेस एक्सेट्रा, एक दो घपले पकड़े तो सीए ने बोल दिया कि पागल है क्या, क्यों पॉइंट आउट कर रहा है, क्यों रिपोर्ट में डाल रहा है, हमारा क्लाइंट चला जाएगा टाइप्स. And that is when I felt like super sad that what I'm doing is pretty much meaningless. And that is when I started to see a lot of humor in a lot of things. So after it broke me is when I started to see like the funny in it. Like, अरे ये देखिए बाबू कैसे दारू लेके आ रहा है, कौन सा ब्रांड लेके आ रहा है, what is this very amusing scam they are coming up with, yeah, whatever else. And then that just followed into like other things that I did, which is journalism. And then obviously parliament was the worst because kuch nahi ho raha tha wahan pe. Like it was so depressing. Getting up at 6 in the morning, going from North Campus to boss's office, preparing, briefing the boss at 8 in the morning, then like sending them off to parliament like a school child, and then like seeing them on TV just doing nothing. कुछ नहीं हो रहा है पार्लियामेंट में, बस बकवास हो रहा है, राइट. एंड इट वाज सुपर डिप्रेसिंग. सो देन अगेन वहां पे भी एज अ डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म आई स्टार्टेड टू सी द फनी पार्ट्स ऑफ इट, कि अरे ये क्या अम्यूजिंग है, अरे लुक हाउ मीरा कुमार सेज थिंग्स, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. So yeah, you're right. Like I find this happening to me even today. I agree.
Yeah, credits to Javed Akhtar Saab for saying that in his interview. Like
But
that, yeah,
this is a thing that I think every comic that you ask will also tell you, that they
true.
went through like a phase of extreme depression or just being low, and then they started to see the funny in the world around them, because it sort of funny happens when you don't take anything seriously, I feel like, because your faith in things around you just reduces drastically,
Has
and
been
you're
shook
like,
to the core. Has been
yeah,
shaken to the core.
yeah, the funnier the person, the more cynical they are, I feel like.
Perhaps that could be true. It
Yeah.
is like you don't care about things anymore. Seeing that the things that you cared about possibly the most,
Hmm.
they seem to be falling apart and they seem to have lost their meaning, like you mentioned.
Exactly,
Like
exactly, right.
the thing that you made your lives for that in that time frame, like the CA thing or
Hmm.
the job with the MLAs or MPs, whoever you were
Hmm.
working
Hmm.
with,
Hmm.
and seeing that nothing bore fruits and it was all futile. I think I can
Yeah.
see that it means nothing. I mean, why am I even doing that? Like I
And
don't know.
it's so bizarre, right? Because you, I was literally 21 years old when I stepped into parliament. Like, I mean, as a worker, but just that
Wow.
feeling that you get, na, that I can't describe it, right? So the first time I went to parliament was we did some training. So I was a part of this fellowship and we did a training, right? And one of the things was that they'll take us to parliament to see it, the building. सेशन चालू नहीं था, and I had like this massive cough. So I took like a giant amount of cough syrup before going there,
I,
and I
okay.
got ultra drunk. like I had no idea that cough syrup does that to you, and that was my first experience. I was like, shit, and I went there and I was losing it, but it was also so mesmerizing because you are at the end of the day in that place which runs the country, right, in a
Yeah.
large way. And it's like you hear like there's so many languages that you hear around you, so many kinds of people, professions, just it's just so enticing, that whole atmosphere in parliament. And I got addicted to it, to be perfectly honest. I got addicted to everything that was chaotic, um, and frankly insane, right? I could not figure out how this place worked, and that became sort of my need to understand how this place works, but it you can't, it's just bizarre. Right? It's just like this smattering of people thrown into a building and they're just doing whatever. It's bizarre. So then you sort of realize that if this is the most powerful place in this country, then nothing else makes sense, right? Everything is chaos then, by that, logic. So yeah, broken forever, can't have faith anymore.
Yeah. And you pulled okay. To not name the news anchor, you pulled off news anchor back when, like a decade ago. Okay,
uh,
it's referring to the drunk thing.
oh,
The initials of the name are DC, I guess.
oh, right,
Okay,
right, yes, 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 yes,
oh, you
I
get
know
it
who you're
now.
talking. I know who you're
Yeah,
talking about. Yes, yes,
the
yes,
news
yes.
anchor
But
on air sounding.
I obviously I wouldn't, like, nobody else noticed, thankfully. But I remember this specifically. I commented to someone ki I think I'm turning into the Hulk because my hands are growing. And this was in the central hall where we were staring at the paintings, and Subramaniam Swami was sitting right there. Samne. I didn't even know who that was. It was nuts. But fun.
Must have been
Uh,
amazing. The people, yeah,
Sorry, Saurav, there is another person waiting, but please go on. Like, last question, last comment.
yeah, kind of the last thing or the main thing that I thought of.
Go
Um,
on.
uh, you mentioned that you had been or have been or are surrounded by a lot of people that are associated with the right wing in your family
Mm.
and
Yes.
whatnot.
Yeah.
And earlier, you were, to put it mildly, you were not very distinct from them, like way back.
Yeah. Agreed.
But then you transitioned to the person that you are today,
Hmm.
gradually, of
Hmm.
course.
Hmm. Hmm.
And this brings this transformation not only with you, like a few other people as well. It makes me think that if this transformation was so easy, many people would have transformed. But
That's
do you
true.
think that there is, yeah, but I guess there is a process, an integral part of that process is thinking and allowing yourself to think from the other
I
perspective.
think before that, no, before the thinking part comes, I feel like it's about making yourself extremely uncomfortable and putting it yourself into situations that make you very uncomfortable also.
Yeah,
Just because think about it, right? So if you are in this safe place right now, which is like your home or your office, which you have been going to for 5 years, more than 5 years, etc., you know the people around you, you talk to the same people around you, you go travel with them wherever you go with the same people. um, in a sense, you are not exactly allowing yourself to be challenged, right?
true.
But in since, let's say, since I was 17, like right around 12th standard, I started just randomly putting myself into situations which are uncontrollable, or I did not understand what was happening mostly, but I just went in like a moron mostly. And it was very random, it was not intentional, it just ended up happening that way. uh, so say for example, with my parliament stint, right, which was a 7-year stint, I have worked with 6 MPs across India, mostly regional parties, and all of them took me to their constituency, and it was just the most bizarre experience ever. Like, I went to Sikkim. it was something else. I went to West Bengal, it was something else. I went to Haryana, it was something completely else. UP, nuts. Maharashtra, again, nuts. I come from Maharashtra, but I still found that Maharashtra even weirder. Um, so it was just about I allowing myself to be put into those situations, which made me think a lot, which made me just understand a lot more perspectives than I would if I was comfortable, if that makes sense. And most people want to be comfortable. Most people don't want to do this. It's very hard. I mean, it's not fun when you're in it. Later, in hindsight, it becomes funny. But when it was happening, it was traumatic in a lot of places. But most people don't want that. They want to live a good life.
So is that an innate quality? Like, would you say that for yourself, ki allowing yourself to be put in uncomfortable situations, or allowing yourself to think from the
Hmm.
other perspective, allowing yourself to think about the other side? Do you think that that is an attribute of yours, like which some people have and many don't have or don't want to inculcate?
I feel like it comes back to the first point that you also said, right? Which is not taking things too seriously. It so for example, like, because I went to parliament is because I'm actually able to look beyond the whole, oh, itna great building hai, great institution, everybody should respect it, all the MPs are great, everybody should respect them, whatever, that sort of is gone from my head. It's like, yeah, I mean, school level civics नहीं आता है कुछ कुछ लोगों को वहां पे, and I definitely know a little bit more than some people there. I mean, full credit for them to get there. That's not easy. Like the political acumen that you require, being at the right place, right time, that you require, full credit for that. Subject matter expertise, maybe not so much. Maybe they know how to do farming better than me. Maybe they know how to do journalism better than me. Maybe they know how to do lawyering better than me. But functioning of parliament, maybe I might know a little bit more because of just the experience. That no, I think people tend to also put authorities at a pedestal, like your boss, for example, or someone else. You don't question them, because you have this thing in your head ki respect your elders, respect your authorities, etc. And wo jo hai na, that just cuts off your thinking completely. And that is what I think is very required. Like, a being able to also be confident enough to say that I have my own existence, I am allowed to ask questions. I think if you start with that, na, I think everybody can sort of have critical thinking.
Understandable, that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saurav, I have to let you go because the Saida has
Yes,
been waiting for a while. Yeah.
yeah. See you later
Thank you
then.
so
Thank
much
you.
for
Bye.
joining. Yeah. Bye. Nice talking to you.
You too.
Saida, what is this? They will need to connect their mic and cam. Oh, Saida, like, you need to connect your microphone or something. I am not able to add you. Just please check, Saida, if you can. Till then, I'll take some chat. And we are almost at the end of this. Is it supposed to be an hour? हम खतरे में है, even though there are more than 1 billion of us. No, I'm not a CA, Siddharth. I'm not a CA. I did not finish it. I sucked at it. Millennial Mind says our system does take into account crimes of commission but doesn't account crimes of omission. Don't you think this does affect the quality of auditing? Malpractices of many firms are never caught. Oh, I have so many things to say about CA, guys. I oh my god, should I say it? मुझे ICAI sue कर देगा. My dad will be upset. So many people will be upset if I say bad things about CA. But I will say this much. Um, so they have this articleship thing. Okay, so once I cleared the first exam, I went for an articleship where you're doing like a proper 10 to 6 job at its CA's place for extremely cheap. They do not pay you much. It's an article, it's an internship, just like 1000 rupees, 1500 rupees, whatever. Um, Most successful CAs. So I've worked with a bunch of them during that 3.5 year stint. Most successful CAs, being richer, the ones who get more clients, they know loopholes that they can exploit for their clients. That's what they do. Tax कैसे बचाना है, audit कैसे करना है, तुमका whatever. If you legitimately do their accounting and keep them on the path of like the law, or like be like legal and do proper accounting practices follow karke ye karo, etc., businesses don't succeed and people also don't succeed, so the CAs are never wanted. So then it becomes a question of you as this 18-year-old in an office which is going there. So सुबह क्लास करते हो, शाम को क्लास करते हो, which is they teach you all the good things, law and accounting practices and auditing practices, and what you should do in an ideal situation, all the things. Then you go to an office and you do the opposite. You actually help your clients, your CA and the clients, find faults in the system that you can exploit. Then you go back to a class and you learn the opposite again. It's like the most bizarre thing ever. It's like, uh, I don't get it. I did not get it. And every time I opened my mouth to ask questions, I was shouted down at very badly. And it was just like, yeah, tu tick marna, tu क्यों पूछ रहा है इसको, very important client, पैसा मिल रहा है हमको ऑडिट का, इसका उसका, why are you putting that in your report, why are you asking so many questions. बैंक में जाके ऑडिट करते थे तब भी ये होता था. Like random accounts खुले हुए दिख रहे हैं, you ask कि is this person real, and then you're like, what do you mean it's not, why are you asking these questions, you fill your report and get out, no. And then your CA is like, yeah, you should fill your report and get out, why are you asking these questions. इस कंपनी को लोन क्यों दिया, उनके तो कोलैटरल्स थे नहीं, like I can't see that, why are you asking these questions, you fill your report and get out, no. What is this, we are paying your company, your CA firm to do this audit, so do your audit and get out. Nuts. It's just the most bizarre profession, I thought. And therefore I sucked at it. I mean, I generally sucked at it also, so I guess people who do CAs will be better, but I guess, yeah, that's my rant against chartered accountancy. Mm-mm. As a CS LLB, you have not taken the oath of membership, so you can say anything, not liable. But Shweta, do you agree with what I just said? Was that a little bit accurate? Parikshit is asking, hey Meghnerd, hope you're doing well. How will you explain first past the post system to a 10-year-old? First past the post system to the 10-year-old. How will I explain it? So, simple way to put it, there are like, so you show a pie, right? And then you're like, okay, so there are 3 people who want to cut this pie, but there is one person who can win and take the entire pie if they cut like a giant portion of it, the more portion than these guys. So then if you manage to basically increase that size portion, then you get the entire pizza. Does that make sense? I have to think about this. This is a good question. I should do a video on this, Parikshit. I should do a video on this. First past the post system. Yeah. Does PRS consider graduation grades while shortlisting lamps? Yes, they need a graduation. And now it's become way more competitive than it used to be. Like I was the first batch of lamp back when 2011 May. Yeah, but they do, of course, they do. Grades pata nahi, but I mean they just want you to graduate, and they basically look at your critical thinking and how well you are able to break down issues and explain it to people, etc. That is the one primary quality they require in a lamp. um but yeah, they do look at your academic background and what you have done and everything. Sorry if I'm sounding like a broken record, but please try out the 10 groups test on stream once. Will be fun seeing your responses. Yeah, why not? Let's try that. I can do that. Can Is there a particular website that I need to look at for this 10 groups test? I can do that. This is unable to connect my mic. My question to you is, how do we introduce politics to teenagers and young adults, or anyone who has no interest in politics earlier but wants to learn? Because at the end of the day, nothing is apolitical, everything is interconnected. Yep, I agree. um how do you introduce politics to teenagers? First, okay, I think, it's also important for people to understand how politics affects their lives. I feel like we don't do a good job of that. Like, as a teenager, maybe, what is it that affects their lives? mm hmm. Like, am I looking at a privileged teenager? I think that would be easier, right? Which is like a tier 1 city, maybe school going teenager, private school, maybe. uh, in that case, very little things affect them. Like, to be honest, like, very little things actually affect them, which actually will help you take that leap into explaining what politics is for them. Because you will realize that if you go to tier 2 towns, and if you go to less privileged people, teenagers, they would intrinsically have a better knowledge of politics, because it directly affects their lives, their parents' lives. Their parents might be dependent on the government, so then it completely depends on uh, uh, who is in power, so that the parents and thus the family also uh, survives and gets forward. So it is very hard for people with privilege to actually understand how politics affects them, unless you are actually into it. So I have no straight answer for this, to be honest, but one way to do it is to also maybe start by removing the whole patriotism out of nation, and which is politics in general. uh just give it to them as it is, and tell them that, oh, so this is how it works, that this is how the nation functions, like three pillars of democracy, fourth pillar media, if you want to add it, and then break it down accordingly. Or show my show. Constitution is great. That's what we made it for teenagers to get into democracy and how to basically handle it, and politics in general. Please go ahead. um, Lots of comments. I'm taking, guys. I'm here. Shweta, about my CA rant, very close to what I've seen working with CA firms, including Big Fours. Audit हमेशा manage ही किया जाता है. Exactly. And saying this out loud apparently is very, oh, क्या बात कर दिया, oh, our profession is amazing, oh, respect, इतना difficult है exam pass करना, oh my god. Of course, please don't get me started. I have many rants about CA. When I say 10-year-old, I've met the ones who are unaware. But that's what I was saying, na? Like, 10-year-old, the pizza example is okay, pie example is okay, roti example is okay. Um, but I will get back to you on this. I'll have to think about this properly. I don't want to give like wrong information here. Uh, so therefore, I will like postpone this question, and I will probably do a video on it. You give me a good idea. Don't you think the exploitation of loopholes is kind of a necessary evil, considering higher taxes and other obstacles to a medium-sized business has to face? Yeah. Priyanshu, I agree. I mean, of course, like, that is a consequence of essentially not understanding what businesses actually need to grow. There was this one, who was I talking to? Recently, I was talking to someone about how medium-sized businesses don't grow into big companies because the government gives them so much leeway and tax breaks and subsidies. They don't want to grow, and then they end up like not increasing the employee size, etc., etc. So they don't want to become big because then उनका taxes बढ़ जाएंगे, उनका बहुत कुछ ये बदल जाएगा. Plus red tape will increase. So it's about creating those incentives on how freely you actually want a business to run. इंडिया में नहीं करने देते, मतलब बिजनेस चलाना इंडिया में इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट. लाइक दिस ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस रैंकिंग इज बेसिकली अ गेम्ड रैंक. दे हैव फिगर्ड आउट कि अरे these are the parameters that we need to meet to increase our rankings, and that is what they're doing. Has it actually improved? Maybe partially, but in a very real sense it's still very difficult to do business in India. So I understand why they do it. Absolutely, I understand why they do it. As an 18-year-old though, when you're introducing someone into that profession, that's not the way to do it, is what I was coming to. But anyway, debate for another matter. I am a 22-year-old and I have so much to learn. But what I see is that ignorance is massive. And when I talk to people around me, I feel like inko to kuch nahi aata hai. It's okay. You don't need to take that burden of educating the masses. Look who's talking. But no, seriously, I mean, you also have to ask yourself, T, um, why do you want to sort of want them to gain knowledge, right? Wha- in- Usually when people interact with laws in general is around the time they get married, because contract करना है, और like property disputes या कुछ हो गया तो उसमें आता है law. You know, uh, फिर कोर्ट कचेरी जाना पड़ता है, all the things. If they commit a crime, then they need to know the law, of course. um, Premeditated crime I'm talking about, but don't commit crimes, guys. um Other than that, you know, it's very uh it's on a day-to-day basis. Your interaction with the government and law is so limited, you don't really need to know what is happening unless you actually something actually happens to you, and then you're like, holy shit, ye aisa law hai, acha, oh, aisa hota hai. And then you are like, oh, I don't think that is right. So it, if you want people to actually learn more about politics, figure out situations that you can relate to with laws in general. Garbage क्यों नहीं उठाया, किसका responsibility है, what is this garbage pile, can we try and clean it, can we find out who is responsible for cleaning it, at least can we go to that person's house and ask why aren't you cleaning it. तो the funding आता है, so you will enter this rabbit hole of governance which you just need to find the entrance. That is what I was coming to. And it can be a fun project if you want with your friends or something else. But it's a boring project, just putting it out there. It's not very fun project unless you look at it that way. It's very boring. But still, you should watch India on Pixels on YouTube. You will love the topics and videos. Oh yeah, I do, Kunal. I'm a big fan of India and Pixels. Very good. Shweta is saying, I totally agree with you. I see this in young 20s too, but one person in group brings about awareness. So kudos. Oh, thank you, Shweta. T is saying, अच्छा college public transport बहुत कुछ affects them, but we don't know how interconnected things are. Yeah, a lot of them. So it's your job to sort of find those links between what is affecting them and laws and politics and why they need to be aware. That is what I was coming to. That linkage is difficult to find and explain. Okay, so that let's just do this thing which you said. 10 groups test. Okay, 10 groups test. Is this the GitHub thing? Oh, got it, got it, got it. Guys, okay, we are doing this on the request of. Wait a second. Let me just share the screen. Okay. What is 10 groups test? Political compass test that examines one's political beliefs on a variety of coordinate charts. Test is based on parts from Sure. You'll be presented by a statement and then you will answer with your opinion on the statement, from strongly agree to totally disagree. Each answer affecting your scores. Okay. There are 10 different categories: regular, left right axis, and an authoritarian libertarian axis. Okay. Economic, governmental, sure, diplomatic, societal, technological, okay, law, cultural, procedural. Evaluates one's beliefs on how an ideology should be achieved. Okay. Political. This category evaluates one's belief on how extreme an ideology is. Okay, cool. Okay, I want to add something to this test. Test is where. Okay. Fill the suggestions form. नहीं कहाँ पे जाना है? Click here to start. Okay. You will be presented with for each. Note that the shorter version is less accurate. Longer or shorter? Let's try the shorter version, but I can do the longer version later. Let's do shuffled. My ideology is sometimes considered extreme. Do I consider it or do other people consider it? That's a different thing. Partially agree, I would say. Yeah, why not? My political views are very different from the current status quo. Agree? Strongly agree? Strongly agree. My political ideals can be achieved within 10 years. Interesting. Probably not. Unsure. Yeah, neutral. All healthcare services should be privatized. Strongly disagree. Roads and transportation should be publicly owned. Not all of it. Roads and transport should be publicly owned. Maintenance. Okay, agree. Sure. My political values should be spread as much as possible. Partially agree. Should it be spread? Interesting question. Most corporations should be state owned. No. State owned corporations कुछ होना चाहिए क्या? Insurance? Maybe. Yeah, insurance is good. Natural resources, mines, maybe. Railways, corporations, sure. Not most. Disagree. A rehabilitative system is unjust. How is a rehabilitative system unjust? Disagree. If a decision cannot be made in courts, relevant cases in the past should be referenced. Sorry guys, my dog is barking. If you can hear it, apologies for that. कुछ तो भी हो रहा है. It's her Zoom call time. If a decision cannot be made in courts, relevant cases in the past should be referenced. Yeah, that already happens. Yes. Usage of genetic modification for animals and plants should be minimized. So the thing with genetic modification is that we don't know the consequences of where it will lead. So, hmm. But also genetic modifications can lead to some good, because also it's should we be scared of genetic modification? I don't think so. There are, of course, consequences to it. Should we completely stop it? Mm, Minimized, okay, fine. Minimized is okay. Partially agree. We should be more optimistic towards a variety of different ideas. Yes. Reform should happen gradually and slowly. Yes. It's important that we maintain our culture and tradition. Eh, partially disagree. Technology that improves mental and physical capabilities shouldn't be used in any political system. Okay. Mental and physical capabilities shouldn't be used. Disagree. Disagree. I kind of. I mean, I would argue that right now, Chat GPT is one such thing, uh, which is also increasing your mental capacity. Okay, disagree. People should be treated equally regardless of their groups and characteristics. Uh, People should be treated equally regardless of their groups and characteristics. Agree. Yes. Politics is very important for society and shouldn't be ignored. Agreed. Different countries and cultures have different preferences for the type of government. Hmm. I mean, yes, they do. But do I agree with it or not? Oh, okay. Sure, agree. Beneficial democracy requires high level of education. Yes. Strongly agree. High levels is the question with it requires education, not high levels. Mm, Not. It depends on your definition of education. Also, actually, it's a bit complicated. Partially agree. An autocracy is more beneficial than any democratic system. No. Strongly no. I will only support international organizations that align with my political beliefs. No. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Trick question this is. No. The Taliban doesn't agree with my political beliefs. Is it a international organization now? Okay. Partially agree, I guess. The market regulates itself since unjust monopolies are punished by bankruptcy. Disagree. Partially disagree. It doesn't regulate itself. No, disagree. An action should be seen as right or wrong through a set of rules and principles. Mm. Who sets the rules and principles, though? Does that matter? I mean, right or wrong is also like gray area. Right, whatever. Rapid change often leads to worsening of people's lives. Agree. The government is required for a well functioning society to exist. Agree. Oh, strongly agree. Most things can only be accomplished through a group. Agree. Some cultures are inherently superior to other cultures. Strongly disagree. The current political system in my nation is flawed. Agree. Communism is an ideology that would never work in practice. Agree. Industrial revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. Partially disagree. Uh, Freedom of business is the best practical way a society can prosper. Agree. Getting past physical limitations through technology would be beneficial to mankind. Getting past physical limitations through technology would be beneficial to mankind. Agree. Yeah. Inheritance is a legitimate form of wealth. No. Partially disagree. The religion is mostly fictional. We are getting the interesting bits now. Mm, yeah, yeah, of course. National sovereignty is very important. Agree. Uh, Punishment should be valued more than that of rehabilitation. Disagree. Hmm. Traditions are of no value on their own. Mm-mm. Partially agree. Technology is negatively affecting modern society. Disagree. My nation should be more diverse. It already is, but it should be. Yeah, yeah. Countries with authoritarian government should be denounced, of course. Everybody deserves a second chance. Mm, Partially agree. Transitional state should be made. What? Okay. I don't understand this question. Guys, there are a lot more to go if you're around. Wait, let me just read chat. Mariam is here. Hello. Sorry, I'm just taking some chat, then we will continue. In my early 20s, for a long period, I was addicted to watching left wing and right wing channels on YouTube. People say there is nothing called apolitical, but cutting off is important to improve your own life. Yeah, I mean, I'm realizing that right now. Uh, Cutting off is can be important. I don't think my vote matters because it weighs 1 upon 1 billion tending to 0. No, don't be that. Don't be that cynical. Your vote does matter in the larger scheme of things. Why do you partially agree that everyone deserves a second chance? Your reasoning. Now, I'm thinking, uh, does everyone deserve a second chance? Is the question, right? A murderer, uh, does a murderer deserve a second chance? No. Uh, does someone who says the wrong things on the internet deserve a second chance? Yes, I would say that. Should a person be given a chance to change their belief system if they believe in the wrong thing by giving them a second chance? I would say so. As long as it doesn't involve human suffering, which is like you're making someone else suffer with your actions, I feel like a lot of things can be considered as sure, give them a second chance. If it causes suffering, then of course there's a different aspect to it. Yeah, that's why it's partially agree. That's my reasoning for it. Oh, you're welcome, Siddharth. I know you've been asking me to do this for a while. Are you assuming the absence of a justice system? When I'm talking about second chances, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a very ceteris paribus condition. Am I giving that person second chances, sort of a situation, right? Not like exactly will the courts give them second chances. uh, I'm looking at it from a very personal angle. Just assume that question was that way. If that makes sense, that's my reasoning. Okay, few more questions, then I'll come back to chat. Okay. Technology that improves mental and physical capabilities shouldn't be used. Isn't this a repeated question? Technology that improves mental and physical capabilities. No, I think they should be used. Anyway, um, changing the status quo using violent methods is mostly unhelpful. Agree. Revolution होना चाहिए. If it comes to revolution होना चाहिए कभी कभी ना. Violent methods, though, that's the thing, is mostly unhelpful. Agree. Without state intervention, monopolies would violate human rights. Agree. When a threat arrives, some liberties should be sacrificed in order to maintain stability and prosperity. Hmm. Partially agree. A war. Hmm. Yeah. Governmental social programs should be replaced with private charities and organizations. Disagree. Strongly disagree. Hmm. Disagree. Any well-functioning society requires a hierarchy. I mean, that's a default. You can't help it. It can't be completely equal. Uh, do I agree with a hierarchy? Or do I agree with the fact that a well functioning society requires a hierarchy? Does it require a hierarchy? Mm, okay. Hmm. This is a difficult one. I mean, hierarchy is inevitable. Someone will always have more power, someone will have less power. There is always a ladder. Everything can't be equal. It's a very ideal situation. So, no. Uh, but does a society require that? Well, someone needs to take calls. Someone is good at one thing, the someone is good at another thing. And that is also something that decides a hierarchy. Oh, good God. Oh, good God. Partially agree. I support the Black Lives Matter organization. And yeah, agree. I mean, they stand for good. Any action that does not impose aggression on any person should not be considered a criminal offense. Any action that does not impose. Wait, what? Any action that does not impose aggression on any person should not be considered a criminal offense. I'm very confused by this question. Uh, I'm very confused by this question. Well, neutral. Even though equal opportunities can lead to equal outcomes, society should still focus on equal opportunities and not equal outcomes. Yes. Lawmakers and legal experts should hold more influence than judges. Ooh. Hmm. Can the judges be? Aren't the judges also legal experts though? But um, yeah, agree. Politics is boring to me. Strongly disagree. Idealists are mostly unrealistic. Mostly unrealistic. Partially agree. Law principles should be codified into a referable system. Agree. If taxation exists, churches should be taxed the same way other institutions are taxed. Yeah, of course. We should not ignore ideologies that seem radical but has a chance of success. We should not ignore ideologies that seem radical but have a chance of success. So authoritarianism? Ignore karna matlab, like, I mean, I don't understand. Like, ideology, I mean, you should be aware of it. You shouldn't ignore it. But are you saying that adopting that ideologies is what we're talking about? I mean, you should not ignore it. Sure. Okay. Partially agree. All authority should be questioned. Yes. My ideology should be established as quick as possible. मेरी आइडियोलॉजी सब पे ना मेरी आइडियोलॉजी है. I mean, I don't want to impose it quickly. I mean, if people get convinced by my ideology, they should take it up. Otherwise, why would I force it on them? Monoculturalism is disastrous for society. Wait, एक second. I need to look this up. I don't know what this is. Monoculturalism, the cultivation of a what? Cultivation of a single crop in a given area? What? That doesn't make sense. Oh, cultivation is okay. Monoculturism is disastrous for society. Like, is growing a single crop disastrous for society? Is that what they're asking? Okay, agree. Yeah, a system of equal out. That was a weird question. I'm pretty sure it means something else, right? I guess. System of equal outcomes should be established. Agree. I know it's not agriculture monoculturism, but I mean, what else is it? Oh shit! It means countries with uniform population. Is that what I said yes to? Oh god. Oh no. Wait, did I say yes to that one? A monoculture is disastrous for a society. Strongly agree. Equal outcomes should be established. Agree. Okay. A regulated economy is more unfair. Oh, got it, got it. I corrected it. Thank you, Sai Kumar, Priyanshu, and uh Hasrat. Yes, yes, I know. Now I know. Thanks. A regulated economy is more unfair for people when compared to laissez-faire economy. More unfair for people? No, disagree. I mean, the economy needs to be regulated. Can't be completely unregulated. Huh. If we accept migrants into our borders, the migrants should be expected to assimilate. That strongly disagree. Multiculturalism, फिर से multiculturalism is unrealistic. No, disagree. Strongly disagree. Multiculturalism is realistic. Some cultures are inherently superior to other cultures. Strongly disagree. Compromising can avoid unnecessary conflict. Yeah, agree. Middle ground scenario. Unnecessary one. Agree. Compromises should be made in order to suit the needs of most people. Agree. It's a waste of time trying to rehabilitate some criminals. Mm, kind of disagree. I'm not for death penalty, so I think yes, all criminals then. Okay, disagree. Modernity and social progress has led to a decrease of happiness and often lacks meaning. No, taxing any individual using involuntary methods can be considered an act of theft or aggression. Yep, yep. Pacifism is generally unrealistic when protesting a government. Hmm. Wait, what? I need to look this up again. Do I understand pacifism correctly? Wait, what did I spell it? Oh, shit. The belief that war and violence are unjustifiable and that all disputes should be settled by peaceful means. Oh yeah, yeah, I agreed it correctly. I did understand it correctly when protesting a government. Hmm. Unrealistic. Mm, should we get violent is what it's asking then to me. Uh, Pacifism does work. The government, if it starts being aggressive against you, what do you do? Do you actually stand down? Okay, partially disagree. Bapu one. I know, Hasrat, I was also thinking of that. Gandhism. Mm. Adopting radical ideas isn't possible unless compromises are made. Adopting radical ideas isn't possible? Wait, aren't radical ideas being adopted because they don't want to make compromises? Adopting radical ideas isn't possible unless compromises are made. Disagree. In a current system, it is necessary for the government to intervene in the economy to protect consumers. Yes, agree. Court should reference to other judicial decisions. Yes, the current mainstream societal attitudes are problematic. What? Mainstream societal attitudes are problematic. I mean, it depends on what you think are mainstream societal attitudes. And are they problematic in general? It's a very generalized sort of thing. Okay, I'm going neutral for this one. Politics should be avoided in daily life. Daily life, actually. Daily life. I mean, politics does affect you, but should you actively engage with it on a daily basis? No. So should be avoided in daily life. Should you actively avoid politics in your daily life? I mean, ideally, you should come to a situation where you can comfortably avoid politics because, okay, this is very hard. I would say you shouldn't be caring about if you're a general person. Okay, let me answer for me. Okay, no, disagree. I would think that no, politics shouldn't be avoided in daily life. Okay, four more questions, then I'll read some chat. From each according to his ability to each according to his needs. I'm not sure what this means. From each according to his ability to each according to his needs. So is it saying that everybody who has ability? Wait, no, I'm very confused. I don't understand this. Okay, chat. There are some questions. Aziz is saying Jacinda Ardern announced stepping down from the PMship voluntarily. Do you think Indian politicians have cultural issue not leaving kursi? Oh yeah, I genuinely think that. I think at some point politicians should say that acha theek hai, ho gaya ab mera, I retire. Healthy, that's healthy behavior. Jacinda Ardern is a healthy person. I completely agree that people should retire from politics uh, after a point. It's just this perpetual thing is just nonsense. Um, Absolutely, they should. Uh, why is right governments on the rise all over the world? Is what Samir is asking. In India, is it understood? But why is this trend in almost most of the countries? I feel the internet mostly, algorithms, which are just dividing up everything into two parts, two camps, two teams. Everybody's forced to be in one team or the other. And therefore, there is always like this clash happening all across. That is the main reason, according to me. Um, just polarizing behavior on both spectrums. Nobody wants to come to the middle ground and actually talk about things anymore. They don't want to discuss things anymore. They don't want to address things anymore or like deal with things head on. It's just like popular opinion versus popular opinion jhagdo. That is why I think it's happening. Siddharth is saying, come on, yaar, Meghnad, basic Karl Marx. I don't get it, dude. I mean, I don't claim to get everything that Karl Marx says. I've read some of it. I don't know. I'm going neutral with this one. I don't understand it, honestly. I need to look this up more, I guess. When are we going to have the live stream discussing how to follow the parliament? Next parliament session, promise. अभी budget session आएगा ना, मैं करेगा. Promise करेगा मैं. Again, is it Morgenthau's politics? Should we not be ambitious then? I think Hasrat is asking based on what Carl, what anyway. Thinking in long term is more important than thinking in short term. Yes. I support capital punishment. No. Strongly disagree. If wages and a currency exists, there should not be a minimum wage. No, there should be a minimum wage. Mm, Disagree. Um, Hierarchies will inevitably be formed in every society at any time. Yeah, agreed. A global organization that is generally beneficial should hold a substantial amount of power. how do you decide if it's beneficial or not? And no, it shouldn't. Nothing should hold like a substantial amount of power, because that would just lead to disaster. Disagree. Generally beneficial is the thing. They're talking about the WHO or something, aren't they? Or the UN? And disagree. Liberal democracy is the least worst system for leadership. Agree. Intention is more important than consequence when judging an action. Intention is more important than consequence. Uh, no, actually, demonetization. What was the intention? But again, I think both should be important, not more or less. But intention is more important. What is the intention and what the action happened? Okay, partially agree. I support regional unions like the European Union. Mm, India is a union of states. Kind of agree. And unions do make it easier for countries to talk to each other and deal with things better. Yeah. Uh, Violence is not acceptable when protesting a government. Hmm. Okay, agree. A global nation where all countries are united will be beneficial to humanity. Global nation where all countries are united. Kya idealism. But yeah, agree. Yeah, why not? Judges should hold more power than legislators. No. Oppression by corporations is a huge concern. Yep. I support the LGBTQ community. Agree. We should judge an action based on its consequences. Agree. Violence and revolutions are required in order to establish my ideology. Disagree. Strongly disagree. Actually, no. Nearly all politicians are evil and problematic no matter what their political ideals are. Strongly disagree. The risk of transhumanism outweighs the benefits. Transhumanism? Wait, am I getting this correctly? Again, wait, am I understanding it correctly? Belief or theory that the human race can evolve beyond its current physical and mental limitations, especially by means of science and technology. Oh, okay. Risks outweigh the benefits. No, disagree. Electricity should be publicly owned. Hmm. But then distribution. Actually, agree. If the current career system is being used, a person's personal and work life should stay separate. Okay, we are nearing the results. Career system is being used. Yeah, agree. Existence of the state is a violation of our liberty and right. Existence of the state. Disagree. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Disagree. Being self-sufficient as a person is a positive trait. Strongly agree. The justice system should be partially privatized or even fully privatized. Oh, disagree. Okay, social democracy. supports political and economic democracy, advocates strong welfare and higher taxation, especially for the wealthy. Yes. So this is my result. Guys, can you see? Oh, it's not. What is happening? Wait, where is social democracy again? Oh, okay. So more socialism. Authoritarian is a little bit more than libertarian. Okay. Meghnerd was Bernie all along. No, I think Bernie would be more towards left than me. Yes, you live in a social democracy. Do you think voter turnout percentage in urban areas is an issue and people should be encouraged to vote? Will governments run a campaign? I think people in urban areas don't get that affected by politics, so they don't think that it's important to vote. That's the simple answer there. They feel like they can just throw money at their problems and the problems will go away. Whereas in rural areas, the political decisions that you make actually affects your life. So therefore, the percentage is more rather than urban areas where they feel like they really don't need politics in their life, and therefore they can uh, disassociate from it. That's it. Okay, let's see. Okay, authoritarian left, thoda sa. Oh wow, regulated socialism. That I agree with. Authoritarian democracy. Uh, nationalist universalism. Okay. Conservative progressivism. Wait, I'm a transhumanist decelerationism, it seems. Interesting. Punishment, rehabilitation based on civil law, yes. Monoculturalism, equal. Multiculturalism, yes. Transitional compromisation. Compromise side में थोड़ा सा, okay. Politicized. इंटरेस्टिंग, थोड़ा सा रैडिकल साइड में यहाँ पे तो। हाँ, बीच में है कहीं तो भी, दैट्स ट्रू। आइडियलिज्म, आई एम टिल्टिंग मोर टुवर्ड्स आइडियलिज्म देन रियलिज्म, एंड more towards peaceful than revolution, sure, and more towards a little bit towards individualism than collectivism. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, this is very detailed, huh? Results heat map. हाँ, सेंटर में यहीं पे distributism, neoliberalism, and conservatism. Wow. Okay. That was interesting, friends. That's what a nationalist universalism didn't make sense to me either. That just makes no sense. Hasrat, absolutely. Arey, hello Apurva. You came right now. No notification from YouTube. What is happening in this universe? Uh, thanks again for it. You're welcome, Siddha. That was fun. I've done one of these before. It was not this detailed. Political compass quiz. That was also something like this, and the results were pretty much the same. If I tell people that I'm a centrist, now there is proof. Look how center I am, but leaning a little left. Before you go, just want to reiterate that these streams feel like a get together with an older brother. Thank you so much for. Hey, I'm glad, Hasrat. I'm glad. That's the feeling that I want to exude. Also, I hope you like it. Do you think there is a saturation point to extreme polarization, be it social media or public space? If yes, do you think we are reaching the saturation point to extreme polarization? I would say yes. I would say when polarization leads to disastrous consequences is when people realize what a shit thing that has been happening. Mm. But yeah, I think there is a saturation point. Yeah, there is one, and it might be scary. That's the only fear that once we reach that saturation point, what will happen? We are reaching that point. I don't think yet. I hope we don't. Uh, I don't know what point I can actually tell you will be the saturation point, but I don't want to see it. I don't want to say it out loud. Also, it's too mm, scary. Siddharth is more left leaning than I am. Congrats. Do watch Ari Arista's short film, C'est la vie. It's on YouTube. I will. Thanks, Asrit. Uh, is the US left similar to the Indian left? No, it's not. हमारे यहाँ पे लेफ्ट पर से क्या है एग्जैक्टली आई कांट रियली टेल समटाइम्स I mean, even our liberals are actually okay with free markets, like I am. It's a very weird thing to just club everyone as left and right, especially in India. It's very different in a lot of states also. Like in West Bengal, left might mean something else. In Delhi, it might mean something else. In Mumbai, it might mean something. It's very bizarre and diverse. In US, it's a bit more defined. I feel like यहाँ पे नहीं है. Meghnerd be like Gazab based. No, I'm okay with this. I'm actually okay with being wherever. It's okay. I have my own ideology. You have your own ideology. As the quiz asks, will you want to forcefully impose your ideology on anyone? No, I wouldn't. Is there any other outcome to the extreme polarization other than civil war? Hasrat has an answer right below you. But yeah, I think that is the saturation point ultimately, where uh, governments do something shitty, then people rise up, and then there is civil war. Yeah, scary. Um, okay, guys, I think we have done a long stream today. That was fun. Uh, I hope you enjoyed the quiz, and I will try to, as I said all the time, I will try to do this more regularly. See you next time. I'm also working on a video. If you are someone who wants to see videos from me, I'm looking for ideas. Please leave it in the comments below. Any video, any series, or any idea that you have. I'm the format I'm intending to have is a long form video essay, which I will be editing myself or trying to edit myself. So I don't know what the results will be, but still, I'm going to attempt it. So if you have any ideas, please would help. Leave it in the comments below. I already got a few, but if you have more, please do. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you. Set a schedule for lives like Vimo. I tried to, I actually want to, but like my work is right now a little kabhi bhi hota hai, kuch bhi hota hai type. So I can't really do that right now, but I will try to do that. Dhirubhai is asking how is this stream still going on? And because people are here, people keep coming and going. New people keep coming in, old people keep leaving. New people have new questions, old people keep leaving. Acha, okay. That is how live streams work, Dhirubhai. That is, if I stay longer for another hour, I'm pretty sure a new batch of people will come in and ask me a new batch of questions. So I'm going. I'm going. Bye bye and good night. I hope you had fun. Bye.